So far we have learned about the signaling and connecting phase, right? And in the connecting phase, we learned about the NAT, different types of NAT, and how ICE works, right? Now let's understand a bit more about the ICE candidates that we learned in the previous tutorial, right? So there are, multiple types of ICE candidates. When the ICE gathering starts, when we add the media part, right? As soon as we add the media part in the session, the ICE gathering starts, right? So there can be multiple candidates, and all those candidates can be of different types. Okay, so let's understand what are different types of ICE candidates. Okay, since we are using different servers, right? We have stun server, we have turn server, and then we have this local network, right? So for every type of server, stun server, turn server, and for the local network, okay, there will be candidates gathered. Okay, and for every candidate generated through this server and local network, there will be a type associated with it. Okay, so the first type of ICE candidate is called, host candidate, and the second type is called server reflexive, and the third type is called relay candidate. Okay, so these are three major type of candidates that you'll see here. The host candidate is nothing but the candidate generated through this local network. Okay, for P1, suppose we are gathering the candidates for, not we, the ICE framework is gathering the candidates for this P1. Okay, so whatever candidate ICE gathers inside this network, that will be called host candidate. Okay, and the ICE candidate gathered from the stun server will be the server reflexive candidate. And the third one, which is the relay candidate, you can guess, this is what we get from the turn server. Okay, so majorly you will see these three types of candidate. All right, now there are two more candidates that you won't see that frequently, okay, during the gathering phase. Okay, so these three candidates gets gathered during the gathering phase itself, and there is one more. Okay, so the fourth one is called MDNS. Okay, and there is one fifth one, which is peer reflexive. Now let's first understand what is the MDNS. Okay, this is this is another type which falls under the host candidate itself. Okay, so in case of host candidate, you will get IP address. Okay, the candidate will have IP information. But in case of MDNS, instead of getting the IP address, you will get UUID. Okay, some sort of ID, not the IP address. Using this UUID, the peer will connect with the other peer. Okay, now you will say, without IP address, how one can connect with the other peer? IP address is what is internet uses to send or receive packet, right? That's how it works. But how will the UUID work? So in case of MDNS, it uses UID along with the multicast. Okay, now when we say multicast, what we mean whenever the other peer will send a packet, it won't say directly to this peer. Okay, it will send it will simply multicast the packet. Suppose the other peer is here inside the same network, and note that this MDNS will only work if both the peers are in the same network. If the other peer is in a different network outside this network, then it won't work. Okay, this MDNS candidate will only work in case of both the peers are in the same network. All right, and this adds a little bit of privacy and security, because in this case P2 won't know the exact address of P1, and P1 won't know the exact address of P2. This happens sometimes. You'll get this address where you won't see the IP address. Instead, you will be seeing the UID. In that case, ICE framework will decide when it is going to select those candidate pair, right? It is going to nominate a pair of candidate which it will use to connect these two. So if it will see that both the peers are in the same network, in that case it is going to nominate MDNS. Okay, and it will only work if both the peers are in the same network, and given that it gets the MDNS instead of this normal host candidate. All right, so it will work with the multicast, where suppose P2 wants to send some packet to P1. Here P2 will simply send this multicast this packet. Multicast, how it works, the packet goes to the router, and router is going to simply send the packet to a subnet, or this multicast could also be a broadcast, okay, just for this network. Okay, so somehow assume that it is going to send the packet to every other machine connected inside this network. Okay, but every machine who receives this packet, okay, will see that will match this UUID. Okay, and if it will see whether this packet is intended for me. If it is not, it will discard that packet, and finally P1, which has this UUID, will accept that packet. That's how it will receive the packet. Okay, so in case of MDNS, it works like that. Now this peer reflexive, how it works, this is one type of candidate which doesn't get gathered during the ice gathering phase. How it gets created or generated is, suppose there are two peers, this P1 is here and P2 is suppose somewhere else. Okay, P2 is somewhere else, or here also, it can be anywhere, doesn't matter. Okay, so in case after sharing the offer, okay, and answer accepting, signaling phase is completed. When the connecting phase starts, in that case, in connecting phase, what happens, the pair, ICE framework will select a pair, suppose C1 from the P1 side and C2 from the P2 side. It will start sending the stun binding request, right, and it will get stun binding response like that, and C2 will again send C1 and get some response like that, right. Something like that happens, where when it is confirmed, then those candidate gets nominated, right. So during this phase, during the connecting phase, what happens, suppose P1 is here, okay, suppose it is in a subnet, okay, and it moves to a different subnet inside the same network, okay, then its private IP address will change, right, and because of that the mapping might change here. Okay, so somehow its IP or port something changes. So in that case, what happens, when this connecting request goes to P2, P2 will see, okay, I'm getting the stun binding request, but it is coming from a different IP or port which was intended. So in that case, it should reset, right, but it won't. Why? Because this stun binding request is authenticated. How it is authenticated? For that, it uses simply this ICE username, user fragment, and this ICE password. This is what is used. This is a session description for information. We'll talk more about this in upcoming tutorials, but for now you just have to understand, like, this is the ICE username and this is the ICE password. When you exchange this offer and answer, that time this will be exchanged, right. So using this information, it will make sure, okay, the incoming request is authenticated, it is a legitimate request, right. So because of that, it is going to allow that request. Okay, but since the address was changed, okay, so what it will do, it will create a new candidate, okay, and that candidate will be called as peer reflexive candidate. All right, so let's recap this, how it works. And in case of peer reflexive, note that this other peer can be in any network, it can be in the same network also, but in different subnets. So the peer reflexive candidate gets created only when while checking the connection phase, while sending this stun binding request and response. In this phase itself, if there is there is some change or some change happen in the its previous address. Okay, so because of that reason, this peer reflexive candidate will get generated. All right. Okay, so I hope now you understand all different types of ICE candidates that gets created in the gathering phase. So this host candidate, server reflexive, relay candidate, and this MDNS, they all will be created during the gathering phase itself. Okay, but this peer reflexive candidate will only be generated during the connection phase. Okay, actually when it's trying to connect using the gathered ICE candidate. Okay, so one of the candidate which it is trying to connect, that will be replaced with the peer reflexive candidate. All right, so that's how it works. So let's quickly recap what is host candidate. So host candidate is nothing but generated inside the local network, and the MDNS is a secure way of handling this host candidate, where you won't get the IP address, instead you will get a UUID, and with the multicast you will be exchanging the packets. and the server reflexive candidate is generated from the stun server, and the relay candidate is generated from the turn server, and the peer reflexive we just understood it in detail. Okay, and I believe now we have covered most of the part in the connecting phase. All right, so in the next tutorial we'll be discussing about the securing phase. Okay, see you in the next tutorial.